Hello, Jack. Hey, buddy. I see you've already made it here for the interview. I'm glad you could come. Well, let's get this thing started, all right? Clap once for the camera. Welcome, everybody, to Made in Papa's Woodshop. This is my good friend, Clive. He was named after Clive Staples Lewis, and that great literary genius had a nickname. His friends called him Jack. So, I call my little buddy here Jack. Say hello, Jack. He's not very talkative today. When he was with us, he would say, well, in kind of a questioning, inquisitive sort of way. He was a very talkative animal, and we loved him dearly. His primary characteristic that we loved so much, you want to tell him what it was? Foodie. No. He loved his foodie. But his most endearing quality was, no, not foodie. He was always asking for food. Was the fact that he followed us around like a dog. We just loved it. He would meet us at the door and, what? Oh, first snorts. Yes. The other thing that was delightful was that when he purred, he would kind of snort at the end. And we'd snuggle him and what? Parent sandwich. When we would come home, I would scoop him up. My wife and I would snuggle him, and we called that the parent sandwich. And he would purr snort, and he was just so happy to be loved. What's that, Jack? Oh, he loved to sleep on his mama's feet. She loved it too. The warmth and the pressure, and man, did he have some pressure too. He weighed about 24 pounds. He was a big fella. So why don't you tell him why you're sitting in the chair like that? They might think it's weird. I don't know. Let's ask him. You guys think this position's weird? He liked to sit up in a chair like a real people. I mean, he would scooch his butt back. His tail sometimes would stick out between his legs. And he would hook his claws into something so that he could sit up tall. Sometimes one leg would stick all out funny like this. But he would sit up like a person, especially if there were other people. When? Oh, yeah. His mama does a Bible study on Wednesday every other week. And when the ladies would come in, he would jump up in a chair and he would sit there like a big people, and they would gush and ooh and ah and carry on because, he was one of the people. And we miss him dearly. He went to heaven about a year ago, and we had to do some things to kind of process how we would manage our grief. And I never imagined that I would feel this strongly over the loss of a pet. No offense. Please. But, I grew up where it was cat. If it dies, you just got another one. It was cute. It had a name and all, but that just wasn't culture. But he, bless his little heart, he got cancer of the tongue. And there were some bizarre things that he would do to be able to eat, to be able to drink. And it was quite a long, painful decline. We did get about a week where we took him in and he got a special recovery kind of shot from the vet to kind of help his immune system really rally and maybe we could get the infection under control and he could have surgery and maybe they could save him and all of that. And he came back and we had him. He felt normal. He behaved normal for just a few days. And then the decline was very, very steep after that. And we lost him. And it was just after my wife's birthday. So some of the things that we did to cope is I went to Papa's woodshop, came back here, and I built him a little coffin out of bark, alternated the colors, tried to make it pretty. I wrapped it in rope and I laid him down in cedar shavings so that everything would smell really good. Put the lid on and lowered him down into a grave that I dug for him. And it's what I needed to do to process the loss. And then my wife, she had been writing stories from his voice as if he was talking. And the book came out. Clive the Cat chimes in, musings on my human, God, and it's adorable. It's a 2 or 3 page musing with a full color picture of Clive, and it'll endear you to him. It will make you laugh. Sometimes it will make you think, but it's all written from his voice as if he's talking. And she promised him when he was suffering that she would get another kitty until she finished his book. And so the book is now finished, and we'll introduce you sometime soon to his little brother named Simba, who is an orange tabby. Very cute. Many ways very similar. But Laurel wrote that book in order to cope with her grief. And in the process, this is the picture that's on the cover from here up. So she said, can you chainsaw carve me a sculpture of Jack that, it looks like the book cover. I can use it for book signings. We can use it, in our social media stuff for my book. And of course, he can sit in the kitchen. And he does. He sits in the kitchen where he used to sit. And sometimes I have to do a double take. I'm just startled. I'm like, it's a likeness. It's not a perfect, it looks real, but in my heart, something just skips when I turn around sometimes and I see him sitting there. And that's part of our story. What do you think? Did I leave anything out, buddy? You think you want to tell him? Oh, he loved creamer. Heavy whipping cream. I used to use heavy whipping cream in my coffee. And he would follow me around, especially if he saw the container, heavy whipping cream, and he would say, now. And it sounded like now, N-O-W, now. And I would say, okay, yes, buddy, now I'll give you a little bit. And I called it a smackle, like Winnie the Pooh. So we'd put a little schmackle in his bowl. And before he would take his first lick, he would lean down in there. And what would you say? How'd you do it? Well, it was a real short little meow that had a drop on the end. It was like he was saying thank you. I mean, it was just, didn't sound like thank you, but it felt so human to us because he would ask, we would give it to him, and he would say something, so we pretended it was thank you. And it was just an adorable routine we had. That's a good idea. I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you for spending a few minutes with us and for meeting my friend Clive the Cat, my dear little buddy that I will always remember as Jack.